Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at the big bad boy, Bitcoin. I look good, by the way, and feel pretty wrecked, dishevelled. Yeah, I've got some kind of illness. I don't know what's going on. I just don't seem to get any better. I felt like I was alright yesterday, and then I did like quite a large workout thinking this will be fine, and now today just not happy at all. Anyway, regardless of that, the altcoin situation on the most part looks pretty bad. I mean, some of the ones that the royal we that I've been talking about recently, still doing okay. I mean, they're in the green still at the moment. So we've got Bitcoin SV and INJ that I've been talking about, this last week. Chainlink, yeah, still up versus its Bitcoin pair. RNDR still doing well. So, I mean, I've been trying to put this across. Like, no altcoin is created equal. There was, and still technically is, a chance of some kind of alt rally, but it's not going to be blanket across the board. Some alts will do better than others. Arguably, the ones that I've been talking about have done okay, outperformed Bitcoin. Some of them quite well, but that gives a false impression of what the altcoin situation is at the moment. The best way to look at it is with Ethereum, which is obviously down. But yeah, you might be fooled into thinking that alts are doing well if you've watched this channel, because the ones I've been talking about have done well. Anyway, that's enough of that. I've got to make myself feel better when the paracetamol doesn't work. Blowing my own trumpet helps a lot. Right, so let's have a look at Bitcoin, which again, excuse me, again is trying to push that $28,500 zone. The momentum on the daily is still reasonable. The 4-hourly momentum is still one of consolidation. We've hit a centre Bollinger Band on a 4-hourly, so this is a chance now for it to actually break the consolidation, price action and momentum. We take ourselves a nice crude yet simple line from the RSI. We can see something along these lines, and if we were to break out of the 28,500 at the same time as breakout with momentum over here, we're likely to confirm a breakout at this horizontal 28,500. I'm not going to say it's unlikely. I'm also not going to say it's likely. It's definitely possible. And if it's going to take place from any area, it should be from roughly around here. The 21 exponential got hit overnight, which is fine. 28,000 flat, basically, more or less. And now we're back above the Bollinger Band Center and the 10 exponential. So, like I said, pushing resistance, holding support, building momentum in the form of consolidation. If it's going to happen, this is probably where it's going to happen from. If it doesn't happen, we'll start to see closures on a candle body below the Bollinger Band Center, which is basically where we are right now, 28,300 on a 4-hourly. And then things could get worse below 28,100, which is your 21 exponential. It wouldn't be the end of the world. There's lots of areas below us where we can get support. 50 exponential sitting around 27,800, and the 200 exponential around 27,002 or 300, which is what we were saying about yesterday. We can come down to those areas and then catapult from there back up to the resistance and then break that as well. So it's not the end of the world. We're just talking short-term time frame stuff. But for the moment, it's got a chance that we could try and bounce from here. If you really want, we can have a look at the 1-hourly to see what that looks like. 50 exponential holding so far. Again, in consolidation as far as momentum and price is still taking place on the 1-hourly, so it doesn't look a great deal different. You're looking for this trend line to break and break on momentum with price action at the same time. So it's not all bad, It's actually good. You look at this on a daily. Obviously, we're still above all the moving averages, which is pretty sweet. Right, so that is that. Excuse me. Let's have a look at traditional markets. There's not much more to say about Bitcoin than that. So we got the Dixie on the weekly getting lifted up on this 7 simple moving average, which is usually a sign of the last stage of rally. So if we do rally on this, this could be the last one. We're getting quite overheated on the RSI, but again, it's not too bad. The daily looks like the consolidation has ended on this one. We're looking to buy back dollars and move back up on the Dixie, so that's never a good sign for everybody else. It's never a green light for markets to keep going up, is it, when you see the dollar wanting to rally? But that said, we see something like gold, which has been rallying in the face of a rallying dollar, and people will be like, "What is it? How is this possible?" I made this video a while back saying, look, things can move counter to the Dixie. The Dixie is just the dollar. Just because the dollar goes up doesn't mean that other assets, other stocks, crypto included, can not go up. Of course they can go up, and gold has done that. Saying that though, gold approaching significant reach on the money flow index over here. This is not likely to be the top on this rally, but possibly a top forming around these levels. It has been a brilliant fake out and then breakout. I'm not saying it's overheated quite yet, but it's getting close to it. It wouldn't surprise me to see shorts stacking around these levels, just in the event that this is actually just a nice move up to be shorted back down later. A lot of people will say stuff like, "Oh, but what about the problems over in the Middle East? Isn't this gold is good for a war footing?" Well, look at this. I'll just put this to you now. Here we go. We're rallying all the way up the beginning of last year when the other stuff was going on in Eastern Europe. And then what happened? Well, throughout the entire summer into the autumn, chaos for gold all the way down to a significant read down here. So a big, massive drop. It's interesting, really, when you think about it, but this is one of those scenarios where it could be a buy the rumor, sell the news. I'm not saying that gold is going to do this, but people the market likes to react ahead of, rational thought. So, what happens is we move up because people think that this is going to be a good idea to hedge against global carnage, and then when we reach that, then actually it's the counter to buy the rumor, sell the news. So gold, like I say, is still strong, and obviously it's epic. It's absolutely epic, but possibly reaching a peak around these levels. Maybe we reach 2,050, sorry, but at this very moment in time, that's a rejection on the Bollinger Band top. S&P futures, right? So S&P futures. So we got rejection in the last 3 days on the 50 exponential moving average. Makes more sense to look at it on the SPX here. So what we've found is a 50 exponential rejection for all of this week, and back down to a Bollinger Band center, which is also a horizontal we can draw in there, just to extend that little stick there. What we could be seeing here is a symmetrical triangle, which is the one we've already got, 1, 2, all the way up. Or we could be looking at a descending triangle, which is down, sideways. So whichever way you cut it, it's a formation trade. This is one support. Down here would be another support. But wherever you cut it is a descending level of resistance, meaning that it's kind of bearish, because if we reach this area, we like to get rejected. If you break out from here, it'd be great, but right now I'll be looking at this as just a formation trade, and one entry would be here, and that could only yield you should only really expect it to yield you up a little bit, by $100 or so. So not massively bullish on this, not super bearish on this. It's a 50-50 formation trade for the most part, with a chance of this descending triangle being relevant as well, but we'll see how it plays. Again, not looking to trade that either. Personally, I think for for me, this week's trading has been relatively good. We've done quite well, especially looking at things like BSV and INJ now, and obviously Chainlink is still a definite option to think about here. So 1, 2, 3 supports on this 200 exponential moving average on the daily, on the Bitcoin pair, suggesting actually this could be an upside move versus its Bitcoin pair. So there is still, there are still possibilities out here to make some money. But it's been pretty good actually, for me to trade some of these charts over the last few weeks. And right now, as much as I am positioned in Chainlink, all my other things are out. Actually, INJ I'm still in, but all my other things I'm out at the moment, because I feel as though the markets broadly are a bit like, don't really know quite what to do. With the dollar looking like it wants a bit further upside anyway, gold potentially peaking, S&P basically going, I don't know what I want to do, and Bitcoin dancing around. You know, outside of spot and hodl positions and short-term spot trades, better to just sit back, watch and wait, I reckon, at this point now. The market has been relatively kind, but it's still not a thriving market, nor is traditional markets either. You know, I think sometimes the best thing to do is to sit back and wait for brighter days and more crystal clear setups. Like I say, Chainlink Bitcoin is pretty good. And look, these are still obviously significantly in the green, so you know possibly they go on further. But again, I've taken profit on all of these now, apart from INJ. Right, I'll leave it with you there. So long story short, we'll have to see if we can break that resistance on Bitcoin, and if this current support holds. If it doesn't, then yeah, lower $27,000 zone before the next major attempt to bounce. But it's still a hodler's paradise, really, for Bitcoin. That would be. And that's the way we should look at it. It's not much different to the previous market cycles. I basically see a carbon copy, or it feels like a carbon copy, especially with sentiment and the way that altcoins are getting wrecked for the most part. And it's only a select few with for whatever reason, good charts that seem to outperform Bitcoin. So keep your eye on the prize. Maybe join the Patreon, and we can keep hunting out those altcoin charts to see which ones may outperform Bitcoin. Because again, some of these have, but for the most part, most of them are not. Right, I'll leave with you there. Going to take a lem sip. Thanks for watching. Take it easy.